Hi again, I am back. I haven't been here for a while. I haven't been recording anything. Um, Couple of reasons. One is that I had heard that you couldn't hear me very well when I was recording on my phone. And the other is I bought a vlogging camera and I need a 10-year-old to tell me how to operate it. So if you have a 10-year-old and you'd like to share it for a little while, send them over. I can't guarantee I won't send them back full of sugar and candy, but I'm sure they'll be able to help me. So, anyway, I'm working on a couple of new projects. I've been in the middle and started. Um, so, I wanted to catch up a little bit on what I'm doing. And like I've said in previous videos, this is me in the studio. It's raw, there's nothing rehearsed. Whatever happens here happens. Again, you might see me fall over, or you might see me drop paint. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I will talk about my work and how it relates to me and my life, and we'll go from there. So I've got to go over and get a few things. I'll be right back. So again, this is a new piece I'm working on. I'll try to give you a little distance to see what it looks like as I drop things. Um, it's in this series of paintings that I'm doing. Like I said before, my work comes to me in flashes of color, flashes of shapes. I start with those images that I've seen in my head, and then once I take them and put them down on canvas or paper or whatever I'm working on, or if it's one of my wooden shapes, um, I let it tell me what it needs, where to go from there. What you see here is just the beginning of things. The gray is just a ground for the other colors. I'm staying in these warm tones, um, raw sienna, burnt sienna, raw umber, and golds. I have a feeling that I may need a pop of color somewhere in here. I don't know what that color might be. Something totally surprising, a blue, a pink. I'm not quite sure where it'll go. But right now I'm making some corrections that I didn't like some of the shapes. I didn't like some of the angles and things like that. Line is really important to me. I have to get the lines exactly the way I want them so that they line up the way that I want, or not line up the way that I want, but the line is very important to me. So right now I'm just sort of navigating some changes to lines that I didn't like. If you can see, which I don't think you can see that gray piece, I didn't like the way the angle was, so I changed it. Now I've got to fill in the parts that don't match up to what I want. I try not to use too much water in this paint because, number one, this paint is a very thin paint. It's a liquid paint. The reason that I'm using the liquid paint is because I'm using very large sections of canvas. I'm painting very large sections of canvas. And with the liquid paint, I'm able to cover more sections quicker. Although it takes me, it's a little bit more work because I have to do many more coats to get the texture that I want. And all of this work is in preparation for a show that's coming up in November at a gallery here in Bedford, Virginia, called Electrico or Electric Company. It's a couple, husband and wife, Bill and Wendy. They have purchased the old Electric Company in Bedford. An old building, I'm sure it was the turn of the last century, 1900 or so. And they turned it into 3 great spaces. They have a little restaurant, little bistro. They have what they call the marketplace downstairs, where people from different crafts display what they have. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm glad they've given me the opportunity to have this one-man show in their space. It's a beautiful space. It's what they call a big white box space, big white room. Somebody asked me what I use to get the line so straight. I said my hand. Not that they're that straight. I don't like art that looks like it's been manufactured. I want to see the artist's touch, the artist's hands. I want to see some brush strokes. I want to see something of the artist. I'm not crazy. There's a lot of art out there that looks like it's been manufactured, and it's great. These artists have the ability to put together these pieces that look like they're manufactured. I don't want that. I want to have a personal touch with the art. I want to see my hand in the art, and I want to see other artists' hands in the art that I buy. We collect art over the years. We've got quite a big collection. Right now, most of it's in storage. Most of it's wrapped up. We don't have enough walls to display everything, so and I don't know if we'll have enough walls in our new home to display all that we have, but I'm sure we'll have more walls. I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I have a few rules about art in the home, particularly in my home. Everything has to be handmade. Whatever's on the wall is not a print. It's not from the big box stores, the Home Goods, the whatever. It's something that somebody has made. And my other big thing with art is that I don't decorate with art. I don't take the colors that are in the flowers on the couch and make sure that I have them in my art in my house. I want art that speaks to me. I want art that says something to me, that art that touches me. And that's basically all art is that it touches us in a deeper way. We may not have a true understanding of it, but it elicits some kind of an emotion with us. Like I say, whether people think my art is good, bad, or they're indifferent about it, that's up to them. It's not up to me. I hope that they enjoy it. I hope that there's some surprise or some interest in it. But that's not up to me. I always say, once I put brush to canvas, I have no control over what happens after that. I can only control what I'm doing here right now. You see these crazy headphones on my head. I like to listen to music while I'm painting, and of course, if I were listening to music in the background while videotaping, they wouldn't let me have that online. So every once in a while, you'll see me turn this on and off. I'm going to just start listening and work a little bit and see where we go from here. So all this gray has to be filled in at some point with whatever colors I choose. And I choose those colors. I choose the colors at the beginning, but then as I go along, I choose the colors where I'm going to place them. And I haven't really come up with a plan yet. It's gonna be intuitive. It's gonna happen organically. And I'll make a decision about what kind of a surprise color that might come in this piece. We'll see. Where I'm going to go next. Colors like raw umber and burnt sienna are traditionally used in mixing other colors. I like these colors, so I'm using them straight out of the bottle. So yeah, there are no rules, and if there are any, well, I've broken probably all of them. Probably every aspect of my life, but particularly in painting. So I have to, oh, I like this. I have to do the outline first and get that right. And then I fill in the color. The brushes that I'm using are from a company called the F&M Brush Company right here in Long Island, in the U.S. It's a family-owned business. Debbie Mink, the M in the F&M, was one of my clients, and it's her husband's business. Been in the family for generations now. And when I was in college back in the 80s, Deborah found out about it, and she gifted me a set of brushes with my name on them. And those brushes are, whatever, 40 years old now, 30 some odd years old now. And they are still amazing brushes. They give me the ability to create these very hard line. This is called hard edge painting or hard line painting. And I'm still using them, and just recently I got a whole bunch of new ones. They actually go under the name of Dynasty. This is called Blue Ice by Dynasty, and I love these brushes. So any of my painting friends that may be watching, if you're looking for good brushes from a wonderful family-owned business right here in the United States, look up Blue Ice by Dynasty, or Dynasty brushes, or look up the F&M brush company and see where you can buy them. I know you can get them on Amazon. So it's kind of interesting, you know, people ask about what goes into your artwork. What does it mean? What goes into it? I always say my artwork is intuitive. It comes from a place deep inside. It's something that wants to be expressed, wants to come out. And I start from there. But what happens when I'm working is who I'm thinking about. It's very interesting. I don't want to say I get nostalgic, but I start thinking about family and friends that are no longer here. Reflecting on life. Reflecting on the past, reflecting on what's happening now, and projecting into the future. But a lot of the time I'm revisiting family and friends. I don't know, maybe they're here with me, I don't know. Could be. So I hope you're able to hear me better. Actually, I have a brand new phone. So the camera is supposed to be better, and I'm hoping that the microphone is better and it's picking me up so that you're able to hear me. try to be on the outside of whatever line I'm trying to work with and trying to follow. Sometimes that's not possible. I try my best. So on some of my paintings, I've started to finish the edges, which I don't know if I would say it's frowned upon, but most paintings don't have finished edges if they're gallery wrapped. This is what's called a gallery wrapped. It's over an inch thick, and this can be hung just like this. It doesn't need a frame. Where smaller, these canvases are for smaller pieces that I'm going to do, and you can see they're very thin. And these, what I like to do with these, I like to do an inset frame where the painting sits on the frame and it's edged by the frame instead of having the frame cut off part of the painting. So you'll be seeing me work on those in the next couple of weeks. So right now I have a few pieces at Goose Creek Gallery in Bedford, which is where this all started. That is owned by a couple, Mitchell and Patrick, who have been down here for, I guess it's over a decade now. They basically came down because Mitchell's mother needed some care, and they upped their lives. They were living in Washington, and they moved down here, and they bought this frame shop and gallery in Bedford. And I had read about them a couple of years ago in the local paper, and when I started painting, I said, you know, I'm gonna approach them to see if they're interested, and thankfully they were interested, and they took on a whole bunch of the very first pieces that I started, which started during COVID. It's kind of interesting, the similarities. You know, Sam and I are both retired ministers. Sam was a pastor for 25 years. Mitchell and Patrick were seminarians, and they also had to move back to the area to take care of an elderly relative, Mitchell's mother. I believe it was Mitchell's mother. We, of course, moved here to take care of Aunt Helen. So the similarities were really kind of striking. So I'm glad that I got to work with them, and I'm glad that I will continue to work with them. We stop by every couple of weeks to say hello and to either pick up work or drop off work or just to hang out. Kind of interesting, you know, the similarities that we had with Patrick and Mitchell. But I have to tell you, it's quite interesting how many gay men that I have met down here that have had to come back to take care of elderly family. So I'm not quite sure what that says, but it's very interesting. We just met someone recently that story was very similar. They grew up here, they had to move away, they had to come back and take care of elderly family. So I think I started saying I have several pieces at Goose Creek, and I have several pieces at Electrico, and I have a couple of pieces at the Lynchburg Art Club right now. So I hope this gives you a little insight into what goes into preparing art like this, creating art like this. So the next time you're in a gallery and you see contemporary art and somebody says, it looks like my granddaughter could do it, well, tell them to think twice. It ain't easy. Acrylic paint is just that. It's acrylic. It's a plastic. And it dries very quickly. And with this kind of painting, I can only work this color for a short period of time. Then it starts to dry, and you try to go over it. It starts clumping. It starts getting thick. So again, that's why I do so many coats to get this very smooth texture. Oh, anyway, I don't know if I can get this up so that you can see it clearly. Without damaging me or the building. But that gives you a little idea. That new color that was added. And the gold in the center, the gold egg shape, that's going to have a lot of coats to get the texture and finish that I want. So anyway, I think that's for today. That's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of my craziness down here. You know, I hope you liked what you see. I guess I'm supposed to say hit that like button and subscribe and leave some comments. Let me know what you think. All right, you guys take care.